NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight. Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they were losers last time out, but winners of 7 of 9 prior to that. Two teams that have met at least twice a year since 1932. The Lions and Packers underway from Lambeau. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. And now this offensive unit, we get a look at their starters. They put up good numbers last week, looking to carry that forward.
Yeah, Brandon, they saw the numbers from last week. They expect to at least replicate them. They think that they can put up bigger numbers this week. They are a confident bunch.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
319!
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Detroit. They're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. Now Rodgers. And able to find Graham, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's caught outright by Graham. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
I feel for some of these guys nowadays because it is so tough to be able to run with these tight ends. Their speed, their elusiveness.
Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. This is taken near the 13. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. And now the offense for Detroit.
One way I really judge a player's value is when opponents know what your strengths are, yet they still can't take that away. That tells me you're a heck of a player. For Theo Riddick, everyone knows about his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, yet he's still the primary target for Matthew Stafford on just about any passing situation.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. Flashed the stick skills on that run, but then stopped shy of the 35. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. Time to look at the defensive starters for Green Bay. They enter play ranked 8th against the run in the NFL.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing again?
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
And as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. Prater for the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
The numbers in last week's game for Graham. 6 catches, 128 yards.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
False start, offense.
Now they nab the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's got Adams on the hookup. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive. He comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him. And I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. And again, it's Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes, even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
319.
Rodgers again now. And he finds his tight end, Graham. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that 1st-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's Stafford now on second down. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Stafford on 1st down. And this is incomplete. Kenny Golladay is intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 3rd down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in 3rd and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in 3rd and manageable. They've got a chance at the 1st down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, you know, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this 1st quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away. Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And Detroit getting set to go now. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A first down carry here for Johnson. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Out of the gun, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left. And in this first quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game. Nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
And his first carry, he loses the football. But it looked like a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So one quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-all is the score. We're back to Lambeau in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And Adams has it complete. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Rodgers now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Oh, it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And they'll go on the ground. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing now is Rodgers. Got him in open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes the score 14-7. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there. You've given yourself a chance. You're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Now Stafford. An incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And he rifles one incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And he whips that one incomplete there. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Rodgers now to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Here's J.K. Scott now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down to close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. So that's going to push him back half the distance. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Now a handoff. Johnson. And now running right through it. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They get 9 there, and in the process escaping their end zone, picking up a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
They'll run it with Johnson. Oh, another great move. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. On first down at Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
Maybe he was going to be involved in that play from his tight end spot, and he jumped.
Yeah, don't tell me that those guys don't like to block. That's what we say about them nowadays in the NFL. But I think he felt he was one of the key pieces in that play and wanted to get out and execute the assignment very fast.
The left side completion to Jones. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jones. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. The ball still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run. So now a little soul searching on 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be second down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice carry there at 15 yards.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll get 6 on the play, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll run it now out of the gun. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Ezekiel Ansah in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Glover Quinn came into the NFL as a cornerback, but he's morphed into one of the better safeties in the league, and he just finished this one off with that nice pick.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
A really good pickup of 28 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
180.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. The Lions on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. Give the tackle to Tease Tabor that time. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin out in Houston, and those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Alex Smith, a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they are in a tight one, all tied with the visiting Ravens. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be taken about the 12. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Throw left side complete. It's Jones.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
And this one is incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And that is incomplete. A hat tip to P.J. Williams there defensively, making sure that one didn't find its target.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
We got three. 319.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Caught on the right side by Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. A nice move he had, but can't break away. And he's brought down just inside the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson down to the 25. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
On 1st down, Stafford here. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And it's third down.
This close to the goal line, you got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick, trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
The Lions on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Michael Roberts, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So they go play action, 3 tight ends out there in the heavy set.
Well, they showed everything that suggested running play. Just what you mentioned, 3 tight ends, heavy formation, able to go play action off of it because if you're a defender, you're thinking it's a running play with that much beef on the field.
But they passed it, and they got 6 out of it. Extra point good by Prater, and we are tied at 14. A 10-play drive that time, and the end result, a Detroit touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 1st downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
319.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Caught here by Conley. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And let's not take for granted, in these conditions, that's never an easy pass and catch.
You really got to find a way to drive the ball. You know, get your grip. You know, that's why we see some of the guys now that put the gloves on when they throw the ball in this type of a condition. Sometimes the glove might make it too slippery. So you got to figure out what's going to work for you. But how about the receivers? Looking back and trying to locate the ball coming through snow and making sure they have full concentration.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
To throw, it's Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still, no yardage. Okay.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
Like the footwork back there, and I thought you did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Here's Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
To the right and complete to Galladay. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The Lions on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. Stafford. And Tate's got it. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workmanlike right there, getting that first down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4, just enough. I like workmanlike.
I think it's pretty cool myself. Everything doesn't have to be high glamour in this game.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Stafford. And to the left side here, Wilson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Stafford on first down. And this will be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Johnson. Clinton Dix there for the stop.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. To throw on 3rd down, Stafford. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And they'll run it here. And a short gain here down to the 22. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're going to face a third down. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for him. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate. They end up letting them through, and they ended up tackling him for a loss.
He'll get it up the middle. And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. Corey Glenn, his 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
Well, we got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
It means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
Now Crosby for the point after. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Stafford. This is Riddick on the screen. Oh, twisting away. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They go back to Riddick. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go with Johnson. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
And on 4th and 1 as a running back, you're looking for any seam you can find. This is not where you want to be a hero and break off a big one. You just need to make sure you get that yard. And here he picks up the first down with a couple of yards to spare.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down at Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Kerryon Johnson with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And they'll go on the ground. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Rodgers. It's complete to Graham. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss.
That's fine. Yeah.
They run a draw here on second down. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
319.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. He's going to go deep for Conley, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Interference, defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Open space inside the 10. And down to the 7-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on first and goal. Now Jones. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll give it to him up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the...
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jimmy Graham, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have moved out in front.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing, going 3 wide is a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Crosby with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. That time, a 9-play drive, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
On first and 10, Stafford. Now they go screen. It's complete. Space to maneuver at the 40. That one goes for 36 yards.
What really hurts defenses on screen passes is if they eat up one of their levels right away. Because you know, most defense, there's 3 levels. D-line, linebacker, secondary. But on a screen pass, you're inviting the defensive line to get past them. and you throw the ball over their heads, and now there's just 2 levels left to try and stop big guys out in front of a guy running with the football.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Stafford. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Marching back onto the field now, Davante Adams and company getting set to go. 2 touchdowns to his credit so far. Charles, I'm curious, do these wide receivers, what do they go in with each week? Is it different week to week for the goals that they personally set for themselves, do you think?
I doubt that it's different from week to week. Maybe because of game plan, they know that one guy might be featured more than the other. But all in all, these guys are looking for 100 or more yards in receiving. But the biggest thing, getting into the end zone. And how about him? He's gotten there twice in this game.
He has indeed. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here's J.K. Scott now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Open man is Galladay, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Now Stafford. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play. Back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. He's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And incomplete here on 3rd down. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep. They'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time, ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote. Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So for the Packers, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9